Good morning, everyone. Just trying to make sure I am actually live. So if you see this, put a hello or something in the chat. It has shut me down like 3 times. I've tried to come live. So making sure that I'm here. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Angela. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this press conference. Trying to find one with good audio. 1 second. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. People are ridiculous.
Also, can't hear.
Just going to go back to the start.
One more time. Robert Bowles.
Let me actually write that.
As well as a recap of what happened here at Utah Valley University yesterday. We will be able to take a couple of questions after they are done speaking, but it will be short in order to stay in tune with the president speaking at 9:45. So I'll go ahead and introduce Commissioner Bo Mason.
Good morning. I am Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today and recognize the significance of the day. Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they face scrutiny, they face threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., this subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. That family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles. In charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these type cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Sorry, we can't hear the question.
So what I'll release about the suspect is suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon. But right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out for the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right? No, not in those woods. We walked through those woods and secured it. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so. So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be a part of the investigation, and again, we'll release that shortly. However, we're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he has gone yet, but we will do our best. We have images of the suspect. Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details such as that right now. We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those, but that's, again, part of the investigation. Excuse me? We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation that I can't release. Not at all. We've got complete and total support from everyone, from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far. All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're given. So thank you.
Okay, is that it? What's happening now? I think that might be it. Okay, so we obviously need to talk about this. And so they have found what they believe the weapon is. They have footage of the shooter. I'm gonna play again. I'm gonna end up playing this again because I want to make sure I have everything accurate. They have camera footage. They have camera footage of the shooter coming onto campus and being on the roof and then coming down from the roof. They found a weapon they believe to be the weapon, which is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. And they also said that the suspect is believed to be college age. They also, I think they said they had something like a palm print and a forearm print or something like that. I really have to go back and get the exact.
I hope you're right, Ringo. I hope that they have them there, the shooter shortly, especially with the fact that they have said twice now that they had him in custody, twice. And both times it was the wrong person. And so I'm glad that they have images of this guy. I'm glad that they have palm prints or whatever it is, the different types of prints. But this to me, this was a hit. It wouldn't shock me at all the type of planning and things like that that probably went into this. I do think that this was organized. I do think that he was intentionally killed, probably because of the fact that he is so successful reaching out to youth across this nation. He has millions of followers. He has all these college campuses that he constantly is going to and speaking the truth. He just goes there and he lets people talk to them or talk to him. He sits there and he debates people back and forth about their ideas versus his ideas and just has conversations with people. And he was very successful doing that. They had no dirt on him because he has been living this life since before he turned 18. And whenever he was 18 is whenever he started making these huge movements towards opening Turning Point. They have no dirt on him. This man has been well spoken and living for God for his entire life. And they had no choice but to kill him, in my opinion, because he, as he would have continued to get older, continued to spread this momentum, especially across the younger generations. He alone, I think, is responsible for millions of teenagers and young adults that have come to know Christ, who have come to start to value the family, household, and things like that, who have started to put value back into the American dream. And I just I don't know. I did not come live last night, even though I had a lot to say yesterday about this entire situation. And I still have a lot of opinions about everything that's going on. But I also want to be careful not to say something that I'm going to regret later. because I am known to sometimes speak first and think later. But this is the face of the left. Let me show you. Let me show you the face of the left. This is the type of idiotic, disgusting, vile behavior that the left is doing. This is what we're dealing with, including people in my own family. Including people in my own family. My own brother was posting stuff yesterday that just made me sick to my stomach. And I don't know how we go forward from the things that we have been seeing over the past couple of years, especially. I don't know how we move forward as a country. I don't know how we heal from this. I don't know how the left constantly wants to say things like, we need to come together now, and, we need to unite, and things like that. It's constant unity speech, a constant virtue of signaling about the things that need to happen, and peace, love, hope, all those things that they're constantly preaching about in their own way. The party of unity and love and diversity and difference in opinions and things like that, unless your opinion is Christian. Unless your opinion is Christian. Unless your opinion is conservative. Then it's nothing but vile hatred. I don't want nothing more than to let people live their lives how they choose to live them. That's your choice. I'm not going to sit there and kill someone because they have a different opinion than me. But here we are. Because conservatives, we don't react with violence. We don't react in the way that they try to constantly paint us as reacting, right? They want to claim that we're the party of hatred, we're the party of bigotry, we're the Nazis, we're the ones who are spreading evil and hatred and things like that. Yet they're always the ones that do the murdering, right? They're always the ones that are doing the violent riots and destroying cities and looting and things like that. It's always people on the left. And the right, we just sit here and we pray for them, and we hope that God can change their hearts so that they're not so evil, so that they're not so violent, so that they're not so disgusting. And we pray for them. And there's no reaction from us other than prayers. And I think that this is going to be a turning point, because I think a lot of people on the right have come to realize that there is no living in unity with people that think that you need to die for your belief, with people that, instead of debating with words like Charlie Kirk did for his entire life, debating with words and having reasonable conversations and talking to people and trying to meet people on a level playing field and trying to meet people where they are, instead of having that open discussion back and forth like Charlie Kirk was doing, so that he could see their side and show them his side. And then they kill him for doing it the right way, for the difference of belief. And then you have reactions like this.
Please let the rumors be true. Let the gossip be reality. Please.
Guys, it happened. He got pronounced dead. Oh my god, this is literally like, I swear to God, the equivalent of like the big beautiful obituary. Like, we're so close. We're this fucking close. I swear we're this close. That is for
How How do you unite with people like this? He had a wife and 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. He had a family. He had his entire life to live. He was 5 years younger than me, 31 years old, and all he did was go out there and try to talk to people. But he was good at it, right? You can't fight his arguments. You can't win with your own words. So you kill him.
For sure, I am definitely popping a bottle tonight. I can't believe this. Whoever did it, I just want to say thank you so much. Whoever did it, they finally did it.
This
for
is the
sake of
Democrat
humanity.
Party.
Thank you so
This is
fucking
the left.
much. Thank you. Oh, fucking shit, he's dead? Fucking shit.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. To everyone saying that it was such a senseless, violent act, I want you to remind yourself that it was God's plan. I mean, really, it was actually his fault because, like, he should have been wearing, like, a bulletproof neck brace or something. Like, I cannot believe he walked out the house without it. I mean, really, you have to be aware of what you're wearing in public so that, like, people don't target you. And you don't become a victim. So I guess this is just another example of God's plan in action. It was not.
And it probably is, right? I think God's going to take this horrific event and he is going to ignite a fire. This has ignited a fire under people. You can't radicalize. You can't radicalize conservatives. But enough is enough. This is disgusting. And it's all over my Facebook feed. It's all over my Twitter, my Instagram. It's everywhere. They are celebrating and they are happy. The party of love and unity. Don't come in here and tell me that you're a Democrat and tell me that you love people or you love God. There's no such thing as a democratic Christian. Period. You can't have both things. You can't say that this is right. It's disgusting. It's freaking disgusting.
Not a senseless act of violence. This was God's plan. Happy.
So with Charlie Kirk getting shot, it's a good time to remind us that he is the one who said verbatim that gun deaths are worth it for to keep his gun rights. So as long as we don't take any guns from anybody because of this, he died a happy man.
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
It's disgusting. Free speech, right? They want free speech unless it's a Christian talking. Unless it's a Christian talking. It's just, it's everywhere. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what a civil war looks like. Let me just say that. I don't even know how you go forward with like a civil war type of situation. Because that's what I'm seeing people on the right call for. What does that mean? What you just how does that even happen? Because it's our family members. It's people that we know and love that feel this way about the loss of a human life. They celebrated whenever the CEO guy got murdered. They're celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. They're celebrating that senator's murder. Like I don't understand how we got to the point in our lives when the difference of opinion, when having different values meant that the other person needed to die. How did we get to that point? And as people on the right, as conservatives, do we just sit and wait until they decide they've had enough of our opinion too? If they can kill Charlie Kirk, who never showed any signs of violence towards anyone, who never did anything other than debate them with facts and truths, never did anything but debate people with facts and truth. And they're celebrating the fact that that was ended. How do we move forward with that?
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi.
Yes,
You support it.
The mainstream media referring to conservatives and people who love God as Nazis for the last years has made it to the point where people on the left, where Democrats think that it is okay to murder conservative Christians. It's okay to murder conservative Christians because you're just killing a Nazi. This could be any single one of us, could be radicalized by the mainstream media and by people who have these views because every single one of us are bigots and Nazis in their opinion. We teach our children as we're raising them for Christ to be bold, to not be afraid to show their faith, to stand up for Christ, to go out and preach the gospel and share the gospel truths, to stand up for what you believe in, to practice your faith and be a bold Christian. Don't hide, don't back down from people. Be brave. And all we are doing is putting them in the line of the mainstream media's rhetoric, calling them Nazis and spreading hate speech about Christians day after day after day for years, leading it for them to believe that they are doing nothing but killing a Nazi whenever they kill us. It's disturbing. It's concerning. If you are on the left and you are a Democrat, but you don't feel this way, you don't feel that people deserve to die for their freedom of religion and their free speech, what are you still doing aligned with this party? What are you still doing as a registered Democrat aligned with this party? Because this is how they think. They want us dead.
Shooter?
Yep, sure do. Free him.
You support Charlie Kirk shooter?
Sure do. He does all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself.
Would have killed him myself.
Okay. Do you have a job here in Seattle?
Nope. I take that for a living.
Do you support his death?
I do.
You support his death?
This is it. This guy cheering after he's shot up in the crowd, cheering on some people's shoulders. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. My own brother laughing about, oh, can't wait to see South Park this week. It's going to be epic. And my cousins all putting their little laughing emojis and things like that. It's our own family. It's people we know and love. I don't. How do we become unified with this? How do we do this? I don't know how I could ever see eye to eye. I don't know how I can ever sit in the room with a Democrat who believes that it's okay to kill me because I'm just a Nazi anyway. Believe in God. This is the guy, after he killed him, jumping down from the roof and running.
Somebody's shooting over here. Hell of people running. There he is, right there.
There goes the shooter.
That guy. He's the guy.
Taking his hoodie off and running away. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm disgusted. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go from here. They think by killing Charlie Kirk that they have ended his message, that they have silenced him, that they have, we're celebrating that, right? But all they did was probably radicalize people who can't be radicalized on the left or on the right, I'm sorry. Conservatives who would normally just think and pray. I'm seeing people post stuff that's concerning to me. People calling for a civil war in comment sections and things like that. How do you have a civil war with your family? How do you do that? What does that even look like? What does that even look like? I don't know. I just hope that they catch this guy. I hope that they catch this guy. I think that conferences and outdoor events as we know it, that's done. It should have been done after Trump, after they tried to kill Trump. This should have been done. Charlie knew. Charlie knew that his life was at risk. He knew. He just did a video the other day with somebody and they were like, "What happens if you die?" Let's see if I can find it. See if I can find it. I have watched so many things. It's like, sorry.
Die? Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated, die? Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
I mean, if I die, everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be...
So that's how we'll remember him, for courage in his faith.
Not at all, and it only articulates the country was found on common law because the Declaration only refers to God 4 times in the Constitution. It doesn't refer to God at all, and it only articulates the structure of government.
So first of all, remember that we were a collection of states and colonies, and you need to read the state constitutions before anything else. 13 out of 13 required a declaration of faith. In almost every single one of the original state constitutions, they had, "I profess Lord and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior." Secondly, 55 out of 56 of the original signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. You asked about common law. Well, let's go to 3 principles of common law: presumption of innocence, due process, and jury of your peers. All 3 are biblical principles. So, and all wrapped into the ultimate biblical principle that you shall not favor justice if you are rich or poor, which is in Leviticus 19, which is the idea of blind justice, which is incorporated also in the New Testament ideal. Neither slave nor Greek nor Jew, you are all one in Jesus Christ, which is the idea of human equality. These are all biblical ideas, but more importantly than that, they say that God was only mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's a big deal. John Adams famously said the Constitution was only written for a moral and religious people. It was wholly inadequate for the people of any other. The body politic of America was so Christian that our form and structure of government was built for the people that believed in Christ our Lord. One of the reasons we're living through a constitutional crisis is that we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian form of government, and they're incompatible. So you cannot have liberty if you do not have a Christian population.
I don't know. They killed him because he knows his stuff, man. He was very, very, very educated and just knew his stuff, and he would debate absolutely anyone. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna get off here. I figured that I would come on, share the press conference, and kind of tell my feelings on the whole thing. I don't know where we go from here. He was just a man, and it could have happened to anyone. But it's one of those situations where you realize that the way that they feel, how they have been brainwashed to think that we are all Nazis and bigots. It could be any single one of us at any point, and it's terrifying. So, I will talk to you all later. I hope you all have a good day, and pray for his family, pray for his wife and his kids. Bye.